What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to another episode of P&Q, my question and answer series where you get to ask me questions or put comments to me and then I respond to you the following week. Now you can do this one of four ways. You can pop your comment or question down below in the comments section, which is quite a common way, or you can email me directly at miniwarzone@gmail.com and I'll answer your question there. If you're emailing me generally and you happen to have a question in there, and if you want it on P&Q or whatever, I won't reveal who you are anyway, just in case you forget to say so. So all emails are anonymous, free. You can ask a question in a video of your own, and if I pick it up and I see it and I think, oh, that's a good question, I'll answer that here as well. Or four, if you happen to bump into me in person, which has been known to happen, you can ask me a question there, and if it's a good question, I'll use that for P&Q as well. Anyway, that's enough of the preamble taking up a little time. I don't think there's any emails this week. No, there's no emails this week, but I do have video questions, so we'll go with those first. Starting with Kujahara on his, Kuja and Kiwi. So they both ask a question on their Hira Hobby Sunday. Kiwi asks, we'll go with her question first. What is your first choice to have for breakfast? My first choice to have for breakfast at the moment is two boiled eggs, not hard boiled, like runny yolk boiled eggs with toasted soldiers that I can dip in them. And I have that, and I share that with my dogs, and we thoroughly enjoy that every morning for breakfast, and that's currently my go-to breakfast. You mentioned muffins. I do like those as well. In fact, just towards the end of this week, I had, which is last week for you, I had some muffins, which was quite good. I also like crumpets as well. Crumpets are good. In fact, I might get some. Kuja asks on the same video, if you had the choice of playing any game to date on YouTube with a lot of people watching, then what game would it be and why? Assuming you mean computer games, of course, and I'm very, very old school and fashioned when it comes to that. So I'd have to say, I have to think back, thinking of games that I'd be good at. Because there's no point me playing on YouTube a game that I'm rubbish at. I'd rather want to show off what I can do. Thinking back into my computer days, and I'm going to really show my age here. Three spring to mind, which I was particularly good at. Pac-Man. I'm sure everybody knows that one. I was particularly good at that. And then a couple of shoot 'em ups, Galaxians, and another one was called Phoenix. If you don't know them, look them up. They were cool. Yeah, so I'd play those because I was good at them. I'm probably not now though, but I might check out some retro emulator software, see if I can relive my youth. But yeah, those are the games I would choose: Pac-Man, Galaxians, and Phoenix. There was another one called Go Off, but I wasn't so good at that. I found that a bit harder. I think it was because my local social club, when I was a kid, my dad used to take me at the weekend. They had Galaxians and then they had Phoenix for a while. So they were the only games I got to spend time with. And then after that, they got Pac-Man. So, because of the original Space Invaders, when that first came out, I never any good at that, really. Where they used to just come down and gradually get lower and lower, and then when you got down to 2 or 1, it'd be like, they'd be destroying your defenses and all that kind of thing. Oh, yeah. But like I say, Pac-Man, Galaxians, and Phoenix. Okay, right. We're on to Wolf Brother Methos now, from his Wolf Brother Wednesday. I said, have you ever grieved for the death of a fictional character? I must chastise you, sir. You were very bad, really bad, putting that cutscene from the death of Ares from Final Fantasy VII. You should, yeah. Anybody that knows me knows I'm particularly. I have I don't know, such a connection with that game. My story with that game is slightly different to yours, though. In that I knew someone that had played or was further ahead in the game, like your brother was with you, but he didn't tell you anything, so no spoilers. But someone that was further ahead in the game than me, and I just started playing it, and I was building up my characters, and he said, Eris, she's gonna die. You know that she's gonna die. She's definitely. And I'm like, and I was thinking at the time, because I was just starting the game, I'm thinking, well, that's okay. I've got the materia, I've got the Phoenix Downs, and all that kind of stuff. So I'll just bring her back to life. No bother. Of course, when it happened, and I realised she was dead, and I'd spent many months leveling up all my characters, and I was particularly invested in her. Like you say, there was the whole romance thing going on with Cloud and her, and the music. And you had to put that cutscene in your Wolf Brother Wednesday. I was starting to well up. I was transported. What was it? About 15, 20 years? I don't know, since I played it properly. And there I was, feeling it again. I was devastated when she died. I couldn't play it for a while after. I was like, I can't do this anymore. It's too heart-wrenching. No. You mentioned Optimus Prime. Let's move on before I start getting into it. Optimus Prime, and yeah, I was a bit choked by that one as well. I remember that from the original cartoon series. I think I might actually have it on DVD somewhere. Maybe Spock from the Wrath of Khan, when he sacrificed himself to save the ship. And him and Kirk's on opposite sides of the force field, and he puts his hand, says, what is it he says? I'm probably going to... No, I won't butcher the line. Something like, I am and ever shall be your friend. Or something like that. I'm sure Nick will correct me if I'm wrong there. But yeah, those are two... Yeah, I was a bit... bit sad when they passed away, but Eris, I'm still grieving 20 years on, or however long it's been. I'm still grieving, man. My favourite flower girl. She was the second time I played it twice properly, and the second time I went through and I made sure I got everything, all the secrets, unlocked everything, and I leveled her up to the max before she passed. And because I didn't rename her, but I renamed some of the characters. Obviously, I had myself. I was Cloud, but that strange cat thing. What was he called? X something or other. The experiment that you rescue from the lab. I renamed him Monty after my my dog that I had at the time. And when he sort of howls afterwards, and I'm like, it's just Sephiroth. He is a bad dude, and you are bad, sir, for opening that wound again. Why did you do this? Why? Let's move on. Green Stuff Games asks, and I always said the video series in question here, because I always say that it's the VQ&A. Right, if I could be a troop choice from Warhammer 40k or Age of Sigmar, what would I be? A troop choice. Well, I don't know much about AOS. I got green tea with lemon today, by the way. So I don't think I know. I don't think I'm qualified enough to comment on the AOS, but for 40k, I would either be Acadian Shock Trooper or a Hormagaunt, the ones with the claws, not the guns, because I prefer melee combat to shooty combat. I suppose I'd like the Acadian Shock Trooper because I'd want to be there on Cadia when it fell, or I'd want to be part of that defense. Yeah, just be a ordinary human being in that world would be kind of interesting. not easy, and yeah, I don't know. I think it would feel good. I always root for the underdog usually. And as for the Tyranid, well, when I died, I could be, hopefully, the Ripper Swarms could come along and like eat up my remains, and then I'd just get respawned as something else, or the same again. So it's kind of like an eternal life there. Not a good one, I suppose, but yeah, that is my choices. Hormigont, because I love the melee combat, and a Shock Trooper. So guard. Right, onto my video question. I asked, how do you organise your paints? Well, let's have a look. So what you see before you, folks, is how I store and control and sort my paints out. Now, I've still got a few of these wooden things. To begin with, I used to have these, and also the ones that are like tiered levels of it, and I've still got them in the back of the studio somewhere. But I quickly found my paints outgrew what I wanted, so I got myself one of these cabinet things, plastic cabinet. They're on wheels, so I can literally I can pull it around to my desk and then slot it back in. So I'm going to slot it back and up against the wall a bit more for now. So this is how I store them, and I've labelled them all as well. I've got my metal colours in the bottom, my blues and purples in the next drawer, blacks and whites, greys, all greens, and as you can see, there's all different makes of green. I'll just go by colour, my flesh tone colours, my yellows. See, sometimes I use these flat racks in here as well, and there's not many. All my washes and glazes, browns, all the browns I use. Somebody's got to give them a shove back in. Pinks, not many of those. Don't tend not to use them for some reason. The reds and oranges, and then the technical paints are all there. Pigments, I don't use many pigments, but I'm building up my collection of that. There's stuff like my primers and varnishes and basing materials and thinners and so on. Then I come down here and I've got like the things I'm currently using at the time. And once I've finished with them, I put them away again. Nice clear bench, and I can always find my paints this way, sorting them by colour, and that's how I do it. That is literally, hey, look, I'm on the TV. Whoa. How weird is that? Look, how weird is that? Ooh. Yeah, so you can see I'm filming with my phone and selfie stick. Oh, that's just nuts. There's my setup as well, but that's not part of this question. My question is about my paints, and there they are. So, hope that answers my own question. Yay! Okay, that's how I organise my paints. I did that on my phone, obviously, you saw. So yeah, they kind of got away from me. How they outgrew their trays and boxes and racks. So I had to put them in something where because I was always losing them. Not thinking, I know I got this colour, I know I've got that colour, and I can't find it. I'd end up buying another one and then finding it, you know, after I've bought it. How many times that's happened to me? Anyway, so there. I hope that answers your question, Pete. Yes, it does. Thank you very much. Okay, I just picked this one up today. I saw British Legion on his infamy Sherlock Holmes and a question video. He said, if you could be a supernatural beast or being for a week, what would it be and why? I'd be a werewolf, because I feel I have a certain affinity with wolves, and particularly werewolves, and I feel their plight. They're terribly misunderstood creatures, and yeah, that would be my choice. Werewolf. Okay, we are on to the questions that were left on last week's video now. So I'll just pop that under there. Or comments, it could be. Right, Frost and Fists. Okay, it says, great episode as always, my friend. What an amazing story of recovery from never writing again to painting the delicate eyes of a mini and teaching others. Awesome stuff. You're referring, of course, to when I burnt my hand many moons ago. Yeah, I was determined to use it again. I mean, my only method of transport at that time was a motorbike, and I used to sit on it every day and try and turn the throttle back and operate the brake levers, and I just couldn't do it for a long time. But I was determined, but I did get there. I think I was in college at the time, and I was struggling to take my notes because I was having to write left-handed, and this, I don't know her name, there's some girl that was sharing the same class as me. She said, "Oh, do you want me to do some notes for you, and copy out mine or whatever for you?" And I was like so grateful. I said, "Oh yes, please, if you don't mind, could you do that?" And she did, and they were good notes as well. I do remember thinking, "God, good note taking, probably better than I could have done myself." I thought, right, no, that's it. I'm going to do things for myself. I am going to do it. So picking up a pen, and I'm trying to force myself to write and hold it. And it was painful. As the skin was growing back and a lot of the nerve endings were growing. It actually, to this day, the feeling is slightly less than it is on my other hand. It's like I'm wearing a glove on this hand, so I can still feel things, but just not as well, you know what I mean? So the sensitivity is not as strong, but lucky I've still got it. Okay, moving on. Idicbeer 40k says, yep, you won that pain story, lol. So that's kind of linked in there, the hand on fire. Wow, sounded horrible. Great show though, Pete, and thanks for answering my other question. What army will you play first in 8th? Well, I know a lot of you've all played a game already, but I've been thinking about it. I can't play a game until I've got my table clear, and my friend has kindly agreed to come around and play a game with me. Says he's not going to get into it, but I think he will. I don't think he watches these anyway, so he's not a YouTube or internet fan at all. He doesn't even have a computer, so, and his phone's really old. So what army will I play first? That's a great question. I've been giving it a lot of thought, and I'm thinking I'd like to try the Orcs first. I don't have many Orcs, but I'd really like to try them out and see if, a lot of the ones I've watched have said they're a lot better now. So I want to see for myself, see how true that is, how someone like an inept player like myself, see what I can do with it, because when I played Orcs before, I might as well just shaking hands. It's a good game to start with. There's no way I would even be able to put up a half decent fun game. So it'll be interesting, if my friend is happy to come around and try out one of my other armies against them. I haven't got any Tau, but maybe, I don't know, might just do some Space Marines versus Orcs or something, just so I can see. I'm really keen on seeing how they fare, and if they're good, that might, because my friend was more of a fantasy person, but what got him into 40k was Orcs, because I suppose they share the same sort of background, but green skin, Orky, yeah, he likes that. Which I'm surprised he doesn't want to play the Orcs, but he said, "I know how you go for it." So I think I've got my work cut out to try and convince him, but we'll see. But I want to play Orcs for my first game. We are on to Drake's War Channel, who says, Thank you for your answer regarding human genome research. It is a deep topic and difficult to believe. My question this time: which 40k 8th edition army is in the worst position now, in your opinion? All honesty, my friend, I don't know. In the worst position. Well, on paper I thought it was Orcs, but a lot of people saying no, they're quite good. So I don't know. Maybe one of the smaller sub factions, kind of. When I say sub factions, I mean kind of like a faction within a faction, like Gene Stealer cults or something like that. But again, I don't know. But I'm going to try, because Gene Stealer cults is an army I want to get into as well. I'm starting an Eldar army, and I want to start a Gene Stealer cult army to go with my Tyranids, of course. I think that only makes sense. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I can answer that better when I've had some more experience with it. My phone going off. I do apologise. In fact, I'm going to put it on silent now. There. Right. Fantabulous Beasties is next. Now that's my wife's channel. My wife and her friends. So she says, is this new edition game going to mean more books dotted about everywhere? Because she's asked that because I'm forever taking books into the home with me and up in my bedroom and on the dinner table, and I'm reading them at breakfast, and I'm just reading them all the time. And the answer, I'm afraid to say, is probably yes, because I'm going to get more. She just bought me one of the index books, actually. It's bought me Xenos 1, because it's got the Necrons in it. Because I want to play my Necrons as well. So, yes. Sorry, my love. Probably yes. I know you don't mind, really. She doesn't. Wargaming with Gary is next. He says, nice Q&A, Peter. I like that you are happy to talk about all subjects, not just wargaming. Cheers. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine talking about other subjects. Whatever anybody wants to ask me, I will answer to the best of my ability. I have yet to come across something I refuse to answer outright. So yeah. Ooh, going dark. There we go. But yes, I will answer anything, and you are quite welcome. Right. WG Revival says, a fab lolly and a mention of the word ghoulies. This is the best episode ever. I could blimmin' murder a fab lolly right now. A tennis ball to the ghoulies, not so much. Yeah, it wasn't my was not my greatest moment. Decided to jump the net. I never did that again. As for fab lollies, I've still got a box of them. Ooh, in fact, you're making me want one. I think I might have one this afternoon when I start building my models again. Yes. Thank you for reminding me I have them. Super Wargamer says, LMAO, I wish someone would do an animation of Tyranids playing musical instruments now. Yeah, I think it'll happen. Someone will do that. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, he also says, man, don't forget me if you ever come to Wales for a game. And I said, oh yes, of course. I'll have to plan a Warhammer tour someday. I will, yeah. James and his stuff was the last one. He says, cool vid. Thank you, James. But going back to that, yeah, one day, who knows, I might get to do a tour of England, or maybe even internationally. You never know. Wherever I go, I'll see if there's anyone nearby-ish. And I'll take, I don't know, I'll have to design a travelling army that I could sort of take with me. Who knows, maybe add to it on the way, buying from local stores, things like that. That could be a fun series to make. Yeah, you never know. Who knows the future, right? But it would be good. Like I say, I do have a brother who lives in Wales. I can't remember the name of the place. It's one of those weird sounding names I can never pronounce. He always decides to live somewhere strange pronunciation of address, and I can't get my tongue around it. But yeah, if I should ever decide to visit him all the way up in Wales, I'll have to look some of you guys up that are up that way and see if we can hook up with a game. That would be good. But yeah, and that's all I've got time for on this episode of P&Q. Ooh, stretch. Thank you. Keep those questions coming. Remember, all brushes lead to war, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now. Bye bye.